Recording.
Thank you for joining us for the East Aurora Village Board meeting for October 6, 2025. If you could please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I get a roll call attendance, please?
Trustee Lizickis.
Here.
Trustee Cameron. Trustee Vijay. Trustee Flynn.
Here.
Trustee Raby.
Here.
Trustee Shear.
Here.
Mayor Mercurio.
Present.
5 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the Village Board meeting for September 15, 2025?
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve the payment of the abstract for October 6, 2025 for the 2025-2026 fiscal year with a total of $503,835.89.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. All right, this is our first speakers in communications. Before we open it up to the public, there's a couple of things that the board would like to discuss. First of all, it is coming up. We're going to have a local government proclamation for 2025 Red Ribbon Week, and I'm going to read it out here. Whereas alcohol and other drug abuse in this nation has reached epidemic stages, and whereas it is imperative that visible, unified prevention education efforts by community members be launched to eliminate the demand for drugs, and whereas the National Family Partnership is sponsoring the National Red Ribbon Campaign, offering citizens the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to drug-free lifestyles, including no use of illegal drugs, no illegal use of legal drugs. And whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign will be celebrated in every community in America during Red Ribbon Week, which is October 23rd to the 31st. And whereas business, government, parents, law enforcement, media, medical, religious institutions, schools, senior citizens, service organizations, and youth will demonstrate their commitment to healthy, drug-free lifestyles by wearing and displaying red ribbons during this week-long campaign. Whereas the Village of East Aurora further commits its resources to ensure the success of the Red Ribbon Campaign. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Village of East Aurora does hereby proclaim October 23rd to the 31st, 2025 as Red Ribbon Week, and encourages its citizens to participate in drug prevention education activities, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to a drug-free state. So thanks to them for that. We know what an epidemic it is in society, and I agree with them that it's important that we all work together to try to limit the negative effects of illegal drug use, as well as, like they said, illegal use of legal drugs, which is probably an even maybe bigger issue. Second, I'm just going to talk a little bit about our last meeting with NYSEG regarding the tree law. Friday, we had a follow-up meeting with NYSEG. Their new director was in attendance, and we reviewed a document that they put together from our previous meetings to be able to make kind of a formalized agreement. We're looking to memorialize our understanding so that it's very clear on what we expect from them and what they need to accomplish in our village. The village staff will meet their trimming team, including the local arborist, weekly, and their manager. And NYSEG and the village will finish up the Go Net Speed project. NYSEG is going to be in charge of that, not Go Net Speed, and they're going to work with the village to make sure it's as low impact as possible. It is the Go Net Speed part of the project is almost complete. But part of the plan going forward with NYSEG will be taking down the few trees that were trimmed to an unacceptable manner, including the removal of the stumps. They will work on a list that the village provides them. And a plan will be made starting in January with a tree-by-tree analysis by NYSEG with approval from our DPW as the village's representative for tree trimming. Jeff Stoll from the DPW will be working with our village arborist and the tree board as needed on this. Trimming will begin again in the August-September 2026 timeframe and will include working with the village on the trees, including along Maple during the county construction project. They have agreed to go tree by tree throughout the whole village with our team to make sure that all the trees are addressed on a case-by-case basis the way the village needs them to be addressed. And in the fall, NYSEG will work on their tree replacement after that part of the project's done. Does So that's just kind of an update. This is our third meeting now with NYSEG, and their director that they brought in, Ashley, has been fantastic, and it's been really great to work with. So we're looking forward to the communication being so much better and getting the results that we know our village deserves. Maureen, did you want to?
I'm just going to go through the Modern and waste management change and kind of where we are. Modern decided not to renew our contract this year.
Our
They said-
garbage
Our garbage
contract.
contract. They said the cost would double to pick up the garbage as it is currently. That would have been an approximate 15% tax increase for the residents if we kept it that same way. Additionally, both companies said that they may not even bid if the pickup wasn't made automated. The village put out an RFP on July 10th, 25 for an automated garbage collection, allowing the garbage companies to propose ideas in addition to our requests. In order to implement this system, a lot of work needed to be done, including changing the village law and plans for implementation. We had to do the process quickly as the Modern contract was over. We are grateful to Modern, who allowed us to extend our contract for a few months, and they also went above and beyond, making sure the residents' garbage was picked up fully until the new vendor could start. Decisions were made that we believe were best for the overall village. 196-gallon garbage tote and 196-gallon recycling tote. Recycling pickup is every other week, starting the first week of collection, which was this Monday. A 3-day week, Monday through Wednesday, is the pickup schedule, so your pickup days may have changed. 3 large items can be put out once a month. It's the week with the third Monday, and it is highlighted on the calendars, and our calendars are on the website, and they will be mailed to the house. We do admit that our vendor dropped the ball, not getting all the mailed notices out as planned due to the time crunch. The village communicated with the advertiser, the chamber, and had the information posted on our police department social media, the village website, and even our code red system. While we are still working on medical requests and other requests that have come into the village after delivery, we will continue working on those as they are still coming in. We did what was needed because we have people who think that the garbage limit is too small, and we have also people who think the garbage limit is too big. We have people who want to keep garbage the same way, and we have people who love the totes. The majority of the residents understand we had to do this and understand that change is hard and that we do the best we can for the village. The best part of this event was hearing yet again how we have good neighbors in our community. Residents agreeing to help their elderly neighbors, whether it's by taking their tote to the street or by letting them put one of their small bags into their recycling tote or garbage tote because it's easier for them. Our administrator, DPW, and clerk's office are still taking calls regarding your specific properties and situations. If you haven't heard from them, you will. You said you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, we just want to thank everybody for their understanding and patience while we roll out this new service. A 15% tax increase to keep our current garbage service was unacceptable, I think, to a lot of people. So all the communities are changing to totes if they haven't already. It allows the garbage trucks to come by with just one employee instead of 2 or 3, so it saves them money so that we get a better deal in exchange. It also reduces like vermin and messes and stuff blowing around, that kind of thing, using their totes. They do own the totes, but yeah, for people, like she said, who have medical issues and need a smaller tote, please call village offices and we'll try to work something out. So there's an update on that. As far as the mailer, Maureen, where are we at with that?
They've told us it was mailed out last week, Tuesday. Nobody has seen them. I have them on our website. I have it out on social media the best we can. You can come to Village Hall. I have them in the office for people to grab. The ones we printed, I have some here today with me. If somebody needs one, I can hand them out.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the rest of our speakers and communications, we have Marianne Callipy from our HPC, and she's going to give us some updates, if you would, please.
I've spoken before, you folks of the Planning Commission, a few times in the last month or so, and I just wanted an opportunity to clear up some terms and to talk about some opportunities. When we talk about a historic building, that only means it is 50 years old or older. It means it's an old building. When we talk about a building that is landmarked or has the potential to be landmarked, that means that either a significant person or a significant event, or it's of a significant style, or it is significant to the surrounding area. That's what we particularly have in the village. So that is what a landmark is, and a landmark can be locally landmarked, and that's in our village code, and it is the local landmark that gives the most protection to the exterior of the building. Now, there are federal and state landmarks, okay, administered by the National Park Service. And what I mean by that is that the National Historic Preservation Act and all the associated things with that is administered by the Park Service, and then each state has a state historic preservation office, and they work with the Park Service in doing state and national landmarking. Okay. We've talked a lot, there's been several things that have been going on in the village over the last couple of years, and we hear the word charm and character thrown around a lot. Well, how do we define that? Currently, there is no way to define charm or character. If you look in our village code, there's nothing that says this is charming, this provides character. One way to address that is to establish an architectural review board. That's one option that you folks have. But when we think about things that have happened recently, instances where we think our charm or character is impinged on are when a supposed renovation becomes a demolition. Part of the village charm is lost. When there is a new build and a new subdivision, and there is really no mechanism to clarify how to make these buildings charming or how to have them be part of the character of the village. Another thing is when we talk about changes in the village, think of the uproar we had over the painting of the Globe Hotel last year. And that's a relatively minor thing because paint is reversible. These are all things that can be addressed in several ways through the Architecture Review Board. But another solution is something called a Certified Local Government Grant. This is a program that is run by the State Historic Preservation Office from monies that come from the National Park Service. These grants are able to be used for resource studies, for hiring consultants, for working on National Register districts. These grants usually come up in the spring. This year, with all the changes in Washington, the grant schedule was altered. It was announced October 1st that the grants would be due October 31st. Now, what can these grants do besides providing planning tools? They can help define a National Register district. Okay, so I'm going to put my Park Service hat back on again. What a National Register district does is it defines an area that they consider having a theme relating to the municipality's history. So, for example, Main Street, that is a commercial district. That has been a commercial district for 200 years. Being part of a National Register district does not put any limitations whatsoever on the buildings that are in there, unless the owners of those buildings would like to take advantage of historic tax credits, which are in the state, which go against state taxes and federal taxes. So if for example, the theater needed to work on its neon marquee, which is very expensive, they could take advantage of the tax credits to offset the cost of that repair. And they would work with the State Historic Preservation Office to do that in a way that is historically appropriate. But if a business does not want to take advantage of the tax credits, they can do whatever they want with their building. It is the local landmarking that decides what someone can do with their building unless they're going for the federal tax credits. A week ago, we had a State Historic Preservation Officer come and visit us in East Aurora, walked up and down Main Street, and basically said that he would approve a National Register District for Main Street. The parameters would go from one building beyond Olean, Mandela School, basically to where the library is, and that's Whaley. Okay. And there are about 60 buildings in there that would be contributing to the National Register District. Does that put any restrictions on those buildings? Only if they want to avail themselves of rehabilitation, of doing some upkeep to their buildings and getting the tax credit money. Okay? If they don't want to take advantage of that, they don't have to. In my opinion, this National Register District, with its associated credits, is the only way we're going to be able to save the Globe Hotel. The building is in very severe distress. I have walked through it with a developer who basically said the cost, as it is now, is prohibited. And the loss of that building on our Main Street would be very much, be a huge change. It would be a huge change. I gave you some information about the tax credits and how they work. If we have questions now or if we have questions later.
I still
Yeah.
got to wrap my head around all of it. A couple
Absolutely,
questions.
yeah.
So if they want the tax breaks, they're state and federal?
Yes.
20% each, is it? Or 10% each?
It can be 30 for the state, and it's 20 for the federal.
30 for the state, 20 for the federal, and they have to do a certain amount of outside work, is that right?
Yep, they have to do a certain amount of outside work. So first of all, the project has to be defined.
Right.
And then the SHPO office, because when you do this, you're working very closely with the state, they will look at the percentages of the entire project that would be indoors and outdoors. You can be all outdoors, you can be mostly indoors, but you have to have about 5%
An outside
the outdoors.
component.
Right.
So if they wanted to do a whole new heating system,
A heating system, environmental updates.
they would have to do another 5% of the total project as deemed by SHPO outside, like replace
Right.
the pillars on the porch or some windows or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And then, if the building owners do not want to take advantage of the tax breaks at all, they have, and we approve at some point down the road a national register district, they don't have any limits on what they can do, not even like through the HCP?
Okay. Two totally different things.
Okay.
Okay, let's take the Bank of America building, okay? Locally landmarked, hopefully that becomes locally landmarked. When that happens, if they want to change their windows, if they want to add some additional window boxes to it, anything on the outside, because it is locally landmarked, it would come to the HPC. Now,
For a certificate of appropriateness.
for a
right?
certificate of appropriateness, right. But if they do want to take advantage of tax credits, at that point, everything pretty much goes to the SHPO office who works with them.
Okay, but the other 59 buildings between Mandela and the library, they're not getting landmark status, right? They're just becoming part of the National
Right.
Register District.
Right, that-
So if one of those 59 is like, yeah, I don't need the tax credits, but I want to change my front porch or whatever, front roof. Do they need any approval from anybody, or can they just do whatever they want with their building?
If they are not locally landmarked, they do not need approval. The National Register listing in and of itself does not constrain them. It is
Federally,
inherent.
state, local, nothing. They're free to do
Okay,
whatever they
no,
want.
no, remember, local,
Yep.
local landmarking,
If they're not landmarked.
That's what I'm saying,
separate.
it's not landmarked. They're just
If it
in the
is not
national
locally
registered
landmarked,
district, they're not a local landmark,
nothing.
then they can do whatever they want. They're free
Right.
they're
Right.
not constrained in any way.
And that is why, at the beginning, I said, a local architecture review board. Because doing something to our Main Street is changing that indefinable charm and character. Okay, so that's another option that we have.
What about, like, side streets? Like the First Spiritualist Temple, the other
Nope. This-
silo, Wall-in-Ones? You know, the
This
green tower.
proposed district is Main Street.
So the address has to be on Main.
Yes. Now, one can certainly, that we're talking about this district, one can certainly designate other districts in another process. Okay. Any questions from anybody else?
So when you were speaking about that grant, are you planning to apply? Are you going to have a research consultant come in here, or what's
Okay.
on your mind?
There are several avenues that can be done. One is the village can apply for the certified local government grant to produce the nomination for the National Register. Any individual can apply for this on their own and pay their consultant to write it up for them. So actually, a National Register district does not need the municipality's approval.
If all the building owners get together and,
Right, that's.
Apply for it.
That's the next part.
Yeah.
If it comes in the process, there is a mechanism, whereas the property owners, if they object, they have an opportunity to register that objection. There's usually like a link on a website to register that objection. But remember, this is a carrot. You know, there are only positive things for the business owners.
yeah, I like the idea that they wouldn't be constrained in any way if they choose. If they choose that path.
Right,
We're not forcing anything on anybody.
right.
And I also like the idea of preserving our character on Main Street as well, like you said. You know,
And
Go
also,
away quickly.
yeah, providing monies, an incentive for someone to come in and develop the Globe Hotel. Yeah. You know, there are consultants that can work with the village on this. There's consultants who have already worked in the village on National Register properties, who are already familiar with the village. So there are people who are familiar and able to do this.
And if the village applies, we would have to put together what exactly for the application?
I can email all the information that I have gathered, and so you can see all
But it's-
that.
I was going to say, it's probably pretty thorough, right? Pretty
Yeah.
extensive?
Yeah, there's the application for the grant, and then the National Register nomination itself is a pretty big deal, and you really want a consultant to do that.
Okay, yeah. I just remember like for the Hintz House, right? when we-
Yes,
Yeah, there was 30 or 40 pages of documents that
Yeah.
went along with that application.
yeah.
Very good. Anybody have any other questions for Mary Ann on this point?
Very informative.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right.
guys.
Did you get the
Thank
hat
you.
just for this?
No, I was a park ranger.
Oh.
I worked at the home of Franklin Roosevelt. So I got the summer hat and the winter hat and the uniform, and if you come by my house trick-or-treating, I'll be wearing it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for all your work on that.
Good.
Yep.
All right, we are still in our speakers and communications. This is your first opportunity to talk about any topic you want. Keep it under 2 minutes, please. Just raise your hand, come on up, give us your name and address, and tell us what's on your mind. And there will be a second one at the end of the meeting in case you think of something that you wish you had said earlier. Anybody for the first speakers in communication? Sir?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Tim Noon, 764 East Oakwood, member of the Village Tree Board. Came tonight mostly just to hear the update on the NICEAG coordination and the status of the ordinance and the work we're doing to amend that. Didn't catch that, apologize for missing it, but just here to give a statement of support from the Tree Board. If there's anything we can do on either the NICEAG front or in regards to the ordinance, the Tree Board is here standing by. So that's all.
Awesome. We appreciate it. Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesse's been in at the meetings, and as well as Nancy Smith.
Good deal.
Too, giving some great input there, so we're all working it out together. Who's your friend?
Oh, this is, you want to introduce yourself? This is Clara, so.
Hi, Clara. Thanks for coming to the meeting and being very patient.
Yeah.
We appreciate the work your dad does on the tree board.
Thank
He
you.
cares about trees, and we all care about trees, so thank you.
Yeah. All right, thanks, yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, good night.
Anyone else want to speak on any topic? Ping, 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 sir.
My name's John Rosenberg. I live at 34 Olean Street. I just want to remind, we're in the northern part of the snow belt. The past winter, from January to February, the typical winter, where are we going to put these large garbage cans when we got 3 feet of snow on the side of the curves? Way overkill.
Yeah. Like, I bought the cans from Modern when they offered them as an option, as an optional thing, so I could kind of try them out. And so I've had them for 4 years, maybe? 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just put them down at the end of my driveway, and they would just come and take them right out of the driveway. So
Well,
that was when there was guys taking them and dumping them in the truck, though, right? So now we have to, and Shane, you can help with this because you negotiated the contract. The cans have to be with that metal bar facing out so that the truck can catch them and,
Correct, they got to be facing the road. The best suggestion I've been telling people is when your driveway gets cleared, whether you do it or you have somebody else do it, is to clear a couple feet in between the curb and the sidewalk at the end of your driveway that you keep clear and can put them there so the snowbanks don't build up.
well,
I mean, the same amount of snow is going there as is going in your end of your driveway. So it's just a couple more feet to keep clear so you don't have to lift the tote. It wasn't our choice. Totes are what's happening. You drive around Orchard Park, the town of Aurora is going to get them shortly, I hear. West Seneca, Depew, they all, Cheektowaga, they all have totes. That's what the garbage companies are doing. They're not putting much thought into the snow belt or, our 4-foot, 7-foot snowstorms.
yeah, basically Modern, who we had, was, we got a much better deal from them 6 years ago when we renegotiated with our contracts. And we were saving money at the time, but when that contract ended 6 months ago, they just said, we're out, we're done. They're like, we could double your price, which would raise everyone's taxes 15%. They said, nobody wants that. So they said, or you can put it back out to bid if you want, but we're done with our current contract with you. So we had to do something, and all the garbage companies insist on the totes.
We have the very same exact totes out in our property in Wales. Same exact totes, Waste Management, same thing, no choice. But I've had those same style totes for years. And I just simply snow blow a couple sections to the right of my driveway entrance, and I fit them in there.
yeah.
I do, it's,
Their letter, they say they want them 3 foot apart.
Yeah, as long as they're not
That's going to be
touching.
awful difficult.
As long as you can put your hand in between them, I think they'll be okay, but
But,
That's all.
don't want them catching on each other when they pick them
well, no. Olean, the state does one of the best jobs of plowing
Oh,
in the village. And the curves pile up a lot faster than they do on the village.
No, I know.
Thank you.
That's all I want to say.
We appreciate it. Thanks, John. Kurt?
Kurt Colopy, 365 South Grove. Just in relation to some of the information provided tonight. NICEAG's coming in, they're going to survey all the trees. I presume we're talking about all the trees that are on the village right-of-way?
Correct.
Okay, generally between the sidewalk and the street, okay? And they're not really paying attention to anything on people's property, okay? On my side of the sidewalk, okay? And as long as that's the case, we're fine.
I guess, Kurt, I would just like
Sure.
to maybe check with Shane. So what about like in the case like Ernie's house or my parents' house on Warren, where the power lines kind of run over the backyard? Is that all included in this agreement we're working out with NICEAG?
I think it is. I don't know if we specifically spoke of it, but it was all the trees that they will be trimming within their power lines. So,
Still need approval from the homeowner for their property.
For the ones on
Yeah.
property? Okay.
Okay, I'm willing to wait and see. And I really don't have the problem, so it's just, the other thing on the garbage totes, I still don't understand where I put my rose clippings, okay? They're not leaves, they're not brush. What type of, do I have to run those down to the
So
yard waste on Pine Street, or what do I do with that stuff?
you can take them to the yard waste on Pine Street. That's where they should go. You can put some grass clippings in a garbage bag, but it's got to be in a bag. It can't be loosely put in the tote. So rose clippings in the.
I mean, I normally put them in that paper bag I go and
Right.
buy at
It just in
Value.
the
Right.
tote. Shut
That
the
can go
bag,
in the
put it
tote.
in the
In a
tote.
bag,
And
in a
that
tote.
can go in,
Tote.
The tote,
which tote?
The garbage.
Not, it goes in the garbage tote.
the garbage tote.
Yes, it does not go in
Okay.
recycling.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kurt. Anyone else have an issue they want to speak on right now, before we close the first speakers and communications? Okay. That's closed. Moving on to public hearings. The sign regulations is currently open, and we are still waiting on, Chris, you just want to expand on why we're waiting on with the sign thing? We're still working out the details between your version and the code department's version, right?
But there's only one thing, and I don't recall, Rich, if I send it to you or just Liz.
I did not receive if you revised it since her notes went out and you were copied on in regards to some of the notes that her and I discussed in regards to the changes off the document that's in the agenda. So
Yeah, I made a series of changes. I may have just sent it to her. I apologize.
Yeah, this all happened today,
This all
so-
happened today.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it over to you as well.
Yeah,
We're
our
close.
office would just ask that we acknowledge and say that we don't have any additional changes before it goes back to a vote.
So we're
Wait a
close.
few minutes, you'll have it.
It'd be nice to get that off the agenda for good. All right, leaving it open, moving on to official considerations. I get a motion to approve a determination of non-significance pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act in the manner of the site plan application for Jennifer Green at 400 Quaker Road to construct an existing commercial building addition, parking lot expansion, and stormwater measures.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Can I get a motion to approve a site plan application for Jennifer Green at 400 Quaker Road to construct an existing commercial building addition, parking lot expansion, and stormwater measures? This is for the site plan.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for Holly Layer of East Aurora Runners to hold the Turk EA Trot on November 27, 2025 at 9 a.m.? Moved by Steve, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? Pat? Any issues with this? This has become a regular thing? They're going what? They're going down Sycamore and King and Linden and,
Yeah,
right?
they've
And then
pretty
at the
much
club?
nailed down a pretty good route through the years. It's Thanksgiving morning, which luckily there's not much traffic. And Ms. Slayer really does a good job communicating with us multiple times prior to the event to make sure there's no issues. And to date, we've been good, so we don't see any issue.
Perfect. Any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for Victoria Sturman of the East Aurora Chamber of Commerce Cavalcade, Saturday, December 20th, 2025, 7 to 8 p.m. on Main Street in front of Vidler's.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second? Second by Steve. Further discussion? One of my favorite days of the year. I love this event. So small town goodness. I love it. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for Victoria Sturman of the East Aurora Chamber of Commerce Holiday Magic in the Village, Saturday, December 20th, 2025, from 12 to 4 p.m. at the Roycroft campus.
Motion.
Moved by Molly, second? Second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? That was what? This was behind Barbell last year, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
behind Barbell
Yeah.
last year.
Moving it down to
Moving up to
Roycroft.
Roycroft, yeah.
And then a motion to approve temporary use permit for Joel Brandon of East Aurora Rotary Foundation Incorporated, East Aurora Wonderland, on Friday, December 5th, 12th, and 19th, from 12 to 8 p.m. Saturday, December 6th and 13th, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and December 20th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, December 7, 14, from 12 to 4 p.m. at the Roycroft campus.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie. Second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Anyone from Rotary want to tell us what's going on?
I'd like to share if I could.
That'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
My name is Joel Brandon. It's nice to meet those of you I haven't spoken with. I was
Joel.
the past president of the club last year from 24 to 25. I've only been a member of the club for about 3 years, but they were really needing a president. I was challenged as president to come up with a big project. We had some money in our coffers, and we're always looking for ways to give back to the community and create a new fundraiser. So a friend of mine, Luke Wachensky, came to me and said, I've just been in Europe, and they do these amazing, winter markets in towns all over the world, really. And he said, why don't we have one? Hamburg's got something like that, and even downtown Buffalo. So why doesn't our Timeless Village have kind of a community event of that size? And I said, we could do something real small and keep it tight and, invite craftspeople from all around the area. I attended the Roycroft Fall Fest this weekend and met a lot of great vendors there. So this is a little out of our wheelhouse, but what we really are capable of is bringing the community together and raising money for charities and nonprofits all around us. So we're excited to build some wooden booths and really light them up, put up a 25-foot tree on the great lawn of the Roycroft, and really do this event in multiple weekends between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's really the Advent season. So the idea is for it to feel timeless and to get people outside and really celebrate the season. And it's cold, like that time of year last year when you mentioned the chamber was behind Barbell, it's 30 degrees, it can be. You could have 3 feet or more on the ground. So we got a lot of solutions in place to kind of make this thing come together. Bearing any acts of God, I think that we can really bring the community together and celebrate the season outdoors.
What are you going to do with the booths after the event? Do you break them down
Yeah.
and store them? Do you take them away whole and store them, or?
Yeah, we're working with Dave Gunner at the Highway Department. He's been very generous to let us build them on the property there and then also store them behind their big buildings.
Which
we do want-
buildings?
Their
Roycroft
main-
buildings?
What's that?
The Roycroft buildings?
No, excuse me, but behind the, it's at 251 Quaker Road.
Yeah, the town highway garage.
Town
buildings?
highway garage, behind that big building. They keep their snow plows there in the
Yeah,
off
yeah, so they'll
season.
take them all away from the Roycroft campus.
We're proposing
Store.
10, they're really 4 by 8, 8 by 4. but they're, 9 feet tall, so they take up some space. We want to make 10 of them. And then we're going to have a little entertainment stage as well for carolers and for Santa Claus and that sort of thing. And that will be collapsible as well.
Great.
So the Roycroft has been generous as well to provide electricity and whatever we need. In terms of answers, they're so versed in these things. So you see some images there. We have some inspiration images as well, if you want to see them. But we're really, what I do professionally is I'm an event designer, and I create events for brands like Nike and Disney, and certainly the Rotary International. So I know how to kind of design the event in a way that's going to bring a lot of energy to the village.
Great.
Yeah.
And December 20th, right? They have the Chambers event is going
That's
on
right.
that day. Your event's going on that day. And then they'll both
Yeah.
end in time for people to come down to the Carol Cave.
Ours would begin when the Roycroft winter show, and that's all indoors. So it's creating good energy there, and then it bookends with the chamber, and we've met with Victoria and Carrie and talked about how to approach businesses in the village and on Main Street, and how to really kind of collaborate together to make it a win-win for everybody.
Good, very good.
Yeah.
I know the person who was behind setting up the Chris Kindle Mark.
Oh, great.
Downtown Buffalo at the Off-Broy House.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they still do that or not, but she lives right here in East Aurora, like,
Okay.
right behind the school. And I don't, if you have a card.
I
don't
do
know
have a card with me. I'd
I don't know
love a
if you,
referral.
I don't know if you'd be open to her, if you have questions or.
Been down there. I met with
Suggestions.
the Spring Garden kind of German contingent and trying to get them involved as well. But if I could.
Well, she lived in Heidelberg, Germany for years.
Yeah.
And she was instrumental in getting those set up for the
Yeah.
Off-Broy House. And she knows a lot about that. I don't know if it would help you or not, but if it would, I could give her your card.
I appreciate that very much.
She could get a hold of you and maybe offer some insights and if it would help.
A glow wine recipe would help.
She has one.
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic because we want that authentic, timeless feel of it, like you're stepping into like the 50s, and I think that's really gonna.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And I've seen them in Germany. They're really
We're
neat.
partnering with a lighting vendor that does the Riley Street station. They do that big tree out front, and to me, that's like contemporary Christmas when it's kind of animated and you've got the blues and the pinks, and Fisher Price does that very well. But ours will be just one warm light, Yeah, so it's gonna be
Great.
pretty special.
Anybody have any other questions for Joel?
No, I think it's a neat addition.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have a card on you now, or?
I brought them with me. I did. I didn't know if I
Okay.
could pass them out,
If
but
you
I'll
wanna-
give you one after.
Well, if you just give me a card, I could give it to her,
Okay,
and then she could contact you, and if you have,
that's helpful.
she'd be a valuable resource for this kind of thing.
100%. Thank you.
Very good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, moved by Ernie, second by Jeff. Any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? Congrats, good luck. Looking forward to it. I get a motion to consider a local landmark application for 670 Main Street as recommended by the HPC.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Questions?
Do you want to open it up and then we can talk?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to make a motion.
Anybody want to second Molly's motion?
I'll make a second. Oh, second.
Second by Jeff. Now we get into discussion. I guess, well, you want me to start? Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I guess I would say, I really appreciate the work Mary Ann has done. I have questions. I would like to talk to SHPO and find out, from what I understand, why they didn't recommend it. I'd like to talk to the HBC member as well, who voted against it, just to do more due diligence. I'm not for or against, I'm just trying to gather my facts, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason that, so Karner Development went ahead and started working on the Bank of America building, turning it from a bank building in the interior to retail space and 6 apartments. Then they went to, when they bought the bank building on Main Street, that was a National Register building, and that is when they met Clinton Brown. Clinton Brown is involved in historic preservation, and he said to them, well, did you apply for your tax credits? And they said, what tax credits? So what had happened is because they had gone ahead and worked on the interior of the building, for them to get a National Register, okay, this is, okay, once again, National Register, this is on the federal level. This has tax credits. They were looking for tax credits. For them to have applied for this, they needed to have worked with SHPO from the beginning, because they did things to the interior of the building that SHPO would not have approved to change the character of that. There would have been other ways.
I thought the
to work.
inside wasn't really that relevant.
Only because the way they're doing their development, okay? Because they are looking for these credits and the National Register at the same time, okay? So, question,
Just, so I understand, because I was at the planning board meetings, I thought they also did exterior work to windows and doors and move things around. Did they not?
no, that is not what SHPO was okay
I
with
didn't ask
windows
what-
and doors. They were okay with that.
I didn't ask what SHPO was okay with. I asked if they did it.
Chris,
there
the
are-
part of the site plan application was modifications to the existing structure that included 2 garage doors, that was one,
Yeah.
the breezeway, and then obviously some modifications to windows and the mezzanine level where they added a roof structure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so in historic preservation, there are levels of preservation. One of the levels is called rehabilitation. That is where you take a building, a historic building, and you make it usable for today's commercial market or for today's residences, okay? And you are allowed to make changes on the exterior and interior under the guidance of the State Historic Preservation Office. Okay, so they did these things without being in the guidance of SHPO. That's why they denied it as an individual listing. Okay? I know this is all really picky stuff. So for example, one of the things that SHPO would have loved to have seen, and they would have approved right away, is, I don't know if you remember seeing pictures of the first drive-through there in the Bank of America building. It was a barrel vault with bricks. They loved that picture. They said, where is that barrel vault? It was removed back in the 90s. You know, so they are very picky about the things that they are looking for, and you need to work hand in hand with them when you are going for these tax credits. So that's why they were denied, because they made changes that SHPO would not have approved for on an individual listing. But they will approve for as being part of a district. It'll be then called a contributing structure.
So
Okay.
you're no longer, does that mean you're no longer applying for landmark status?
Okay, now we're going back to the local landmark status.
I'm asking one question. I don't need an explanation of it.
Okay,
I just was wondering if you were
Yes.
still, okay.
yes.
So I had some concerns in your explanation last time regarding the classical revival. Typically, classical revival has columns and a pediment. There was a pediment and pilasters that appeared in the beginning pictures of 1911, 1915, around there, gone.
Changes
Only-
over time. We're looking back 50 years.
Yeah, I get it. However, it's not accurate any longer. And the only thing I saw in that building that even the classical order of architecture, the proportions, all that, it's asymmetrical, not symmetrical. You called out the dentals, and the dentals are the only thing I saw as
Bless you.
Bless you.
other than the structure. And to be significant, that style was used as banks throughout. It was ubiquitous. They were everywhere. So I don't see it as an architectural gem, and I don't see it as qualifying in the, whether, on the architectural aspect of it, in my opinion. Too much of it is gone, and it's, and the renovation itself, as you already mentioned, they started full bore ahead, and then the interior on that, was it, what's the name of the firm, KTM, or?
Carner Development.
Yeah, no. The people that did the review, the independent review of.
Okay,
other-
KTA, Carey
They
Trainer
even mentioned
Associates.
something about the interior banking area was no longer current. And
If you,
that's something I had an issue with, is that, and then as far as personages, just because Seymour Knox was a,
Not an open hearing.
was a board of directors or a trustee, I didn't see that as a significant aspect.
Well, he was involved with Marine Midland Bank. I don't know that he was involved with Liberty Bank.
It was on this.
Yes.
He's
was on-
listed on the application as personages, significant personages, and I
Well,
don't
maybe,
see.
maybe he was on that bank too, I don't know.
My
He was a
point being, Ernie,
stockholder,
is
so.
I don't see Seymour as a historical figure that is significant enough to deem a building historical. It's not like George Washington slept there. So that's my thought.
okay, remember, a building to be historic, 50 years. It is a historic building, 50 years.
I was-
Now, is it landmarkable? Yes, it is landmarkable because the significant people in East, remember, this is a local landmark. The significant people in East Aurora history who were involved with the establishment of that bank, and that it was a federal bank, okay, so there are significant people involved in it. Significant events, you can go back through the newspapers and you can see how the bank was a vibrant part of the community. You can look in the archives that Rob has, where they're receiving telegrams from Washington, working with the bank holidays, and the architecture. It is not it is not straight classical revival. It's basically a commercial version of that. Now, there are also, you must realize that there were a number of architects, of trained professional architects and architectural historians who did look at this building and deemed that enough of the elements remained for it to be considered landmarkable. The folks at the state level looked at it. There were two architectural firms that looked at it. When we talk about levels of rehabilitation, okay, levels of preservation, this is a rehabilitation. This is making it usable for today, okay? This is not a strict reconstruction. It is not going back to a particular point in time, like 1950. This is taking an existing building, keeping the elements of the past and making it usable for today's people.
I understand that, but the 5 points of criteria.
Yes.
Special character, historic, aesthetic interest.
When we look-
I guess I disagree with you on that point. The identified with a historic parsonage, who, I guess that would be Seymour. I'm not sure that I would also qualify that.
If you read the thing, you'll see other local people are involved in that.
Merit.
You do
Merit
not,
was a
by the way,
local
you do not have to have all 5. You just need one.
I understand that.
And one of the things on our local landmarking, which is actually the 5th point, is it a significant presence in the neighborhood? Will you notice if it's gone? You certainly would notice if this building was gone.
As with anybody.
Well,
Yeah,
like I said, I still have some work I want to do. Hopefully I'll be ready by October 20th. I don't know how the rest of you feel. I'm not in a position where
Oh,
I'm comfortable voting.
Another thing I'd like to point out, the local landmarking puts restraints on this building. Okay? So if they want to do, if the owners want to do any further changes to the exterior, they have to come to the HPC.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So, Molly, you made Pete, you want to speak? Sure. Thanks, Marion.
Peter Sorgi, I'm the attorney for Carter Development. I guess I would ask, first and foremost, at the last meeting, there was a motion to table. Actually, there was a motion to approve. It was seconded, and then it became a motion to table because you said just people need more time to digest it. Trustee Laziga said, yes, I want more time to digest this, and I want to know what they're doing about the parking. Set that aside for now. That was the basis of the motion to table, and we tabled it. So I'm assuming that you got this information, I would say a week before that meeting, September 15th.
No.
Well,
No, we got ready
Pete,
for it,
it's-
but-
this
Go ahead,
is
Chris.
not a cross-examination in terms of,
I haven't even asked the question.
yeah, you just did. You asked when they received the information.
Okay, well, so we've had at least 2 weeks since then. You wanted more time to digest it. You've had 2 weeks to digest it. You wanted to talk to a member of the HPC. You have the chair of the HPC here who is advocating for it, did it the last meeting. Our Clinton Brown was here at the last meeting, and these specific questions weren't brought up. I guess,
That's because I did some looking into it.
why didn't you look into it prior to the public hearing when they were
Well,
here?
Pete, look, come on, we're not going to do this. If you have a statement you want to make the statement.
All right.
But this isn't a question back and forth. You've already indicated you're going to sue the village, so if you,
I've not
you did, you
indicated that
told
I'm
me
gonna
that.
sue the village.
You told me that, you told me you're going to file a notice of claim once you make that statement. If you want to back off of it now, I get it.
No, I want you to be accurate. I never said I'm going to sue, so I'm not suing anybody.
Well, your client. You've indicated to
And I
me
didn't
that
say
it was
but
your,
you want the back
you
and
did.
forth. I said it was consideration because it seems like
Okay.
this has been treated much differently than the previous ones that you've done. You've never even so much as tabled one in the last 15 years. They've all just simply been approved.
Yeah, but there was substantial
After
work done with this one already, as was admitted, and what was also admitted by the chair was that this is an afterthought, solely to get the financial credits. That's what was just stated.
Okay. Well, I would just want to remind the board of the criteria because, you know, trustee Lazikas is going through things. He said it's not like George Washington slept there. That's not one of the criteria. He said it's not accurate any longer. That's not a criteria. He said it's not an architectural gem. That's not a criteria. He said Seymour Knox, being an initial stockholder, isn't enough.
I,
Corrected.
those are my opinions, yes.
Okay, but your opinions have got to be based upon the law here. And
Well,
I'm
it,
going down the criteria.
criteria, there's 5 criteria,
Correct.
but there's the word "or" after the 4th one, which means you have to hit one of these 5 criteria.
Understood.
It's a pretty low bar.
Yeah, we're not in
Your
the-
comprehensive plan, your village code talks about historic preservation over and over and over again. You have somebody who's applying for it, and you are saying no, and coincidentally, you're trying to get a parking lease with the same client, and you brought it up during the tabling of this whole thing. Well, how is that appropriate? Is that a criteria in here? Why was that brought up as part of that resolution to table last time? That's a question. Of course, you don't have to answer it because we know there is no answer that's legal. What I would ask for is we are going to be financially impacted by this. Clinton Brown explained that before, that we wanted to get a decision at the last meeting. The federal government does have a role in this, by the way. The federal government, is part of the review process once it gets to the state. If you haven't noticed, they're shut down right now. So the delay has caused real problems. And we certainly would like to be able to take this up once we can. So I'm not certain what else. You want to talk to one member of the HPC who voted against it because of windows. It was explained to you that that cannot really be the basis of a denial. We would ask.
well,
for-
yeah, what you believe, what the law requires them to do is, when they make a decision, and I say if, they make the decision to not grant landmark status, they have to set forth the rationale as to why they're making a decision. It does not state, this is what you can say and this is what you can't say. It's not
I have no idea why
So,
you just said that
listen,
sentence.
listen.
Zero idea.
Hey, we're not in a courtroom. We're not in a courtroom. Are you done
I didn't say it
speaking?
was a-
Are you done with your statement?
I'd like to make a request. Is that okay?
Go ahead. We'll see.
Thank you, I appreciate it. We would like a vote tonight. Vote it up or vote it down. If you don't feel like it's ready, then vote no. But we applied for this a while ago. This is now the second meeting, and you are sitting here telling me you haven't talked to anybody yet. You haven't done your homework, your due diligence.
I didn't say I haven't done my homework.
You said you still want to talk to somebody from SHPO and the person who voted against.
Yeah, still trying to get a hold of somebody from SHPO.
Okay.
So,
You
Pete,
had 2 weeks to do it.
Pete, are you done? Are you done with your statement?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
So it is moved by Molly and seconded by Jeff. You want to vote? You want to table? What do you want to do, Molly? It's your motion.
Oh, my lord.
Despite what you heard, I still would like a couple weeks to
Well, yeah,
further research.
I'm not going to make you vote on something if you're not ready to vote on it. So, in that, I need to redo my motion to table it, correct?
Here's the question. If there's already was tabled, you in essence moved to remove it from the table. It was seconded by Jeff. If you withdraw your motion,
Then
then
it's
there is
still on the
no
table.
motion, is still on the table, it has not been decided,
Okay,
one way or the other.
okay. That's what I would like to do then.
Okay, Molly's withdrawing her motion. Molly's withdrawing her motion.
Nope.
Jeff, do you want to
Yes.
withdraw your second?
Yes.
All right, they went back to the table.
The public hearing from the HPC?
Was there a public hearing required for the village?
It was closed.
Was there a vote on it to close last time? I'm just trying to.
I'm looking
I was
at the
told it was
clerk.
closed. I wasn't here. I was told it was closed. I can tell you.
Well, if it was closed, then it would have been closed on September 15th, the date of the last meeting.
Okay. So it's 62 days.
Yeah, 62 days from there would be November 16th, which technically, because it's a Sunday, would move it to Monday, the 17th.
Okay. Is there a way we can just check and make sure that the minutes reflect that it was, because I didn't see it. That was actually, there was a motion to table last time.
Be
After the
happy,
meeting?
we'll check. I don't take the minutes.
We can move on.
What, hey,
Not right now, okay, Mary Ann? Please. Can we move on?
Yeah.
All right, great. All right, can I get a motion for permission to surplus 2 Ford Explorer Interceptors?
So moved.
Moved by Ernie,
Do we
second.
need to vote on her pulling her motion?
Second,
Hang on one second, please. What's that?
If Molly pulled the motion, do we need to vote on that?
no.
No?
Moved by Ernie, second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? I get a motion to approve the mayor to sign the Stop DWI contract with Erie County for 2024-2025.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second by Steve. Further discussion? Pat, any comment on that? Chief?
Yeah, this arm of county government is extremely frustrating. We're receiving a contract right now to sign for last year and this year after they've requested that we conduct these patrols the past 2 years. This has become an issue at county government. My understanding is there's a lot going on with the state comptroller's office, with county legislatures, and with massive overhaul of this arm of county government. The reason that we're almost done with 25 and we're just now asking the board to authorize you to sign this is because myself and the police clerk have been asking for the last year and a half to get the contract in hand to sign. So that could be part of the problem, part of the shakeup downtown. But I just wanted to explain why you're looking in front of you a contract from last year and this year that's almost over. It's no part of ours that's delayed. We are extremely frustrated with the Stop DWI office, and hopefully changes are coming so that this isn't happening in the future. But we would appreciate the signature to reimburse what we've already done under a promise that they will pay.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Moved by Ernie, second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to award the bid for the DPW roof replacement to Titan Roofing Incorporated for $414,800.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? Anybody have any comment? Nope. All right, Scott, anything you want to add on this?
Well, the roof definitely needs to be replaced. It's leaking. The longer we wait, the more damage that's going to be done on that. And I just think that by doing it now, you'll save a lot of headaches in the future. If you have the funds, I would definitely say it would be the best time to do it would be now.
Jeff said that the roof is actually separating from the building, and a bad wind can take it away. So that's one thing. We do have $350,000 already saved for it, so we would need a small amount from fund balance to pay the rest.
Okay, any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve the bids for the 2025 Auctions International DPW vehicles.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second. Second by Steve. Further discussion? Scott? Or Shane, you want to just give us a highlight of that?
Do you want me to do it?
All right. Yeah, the two bids came in, 22,300 for one of the 2015 Internationals, and the other one came in at 11,600. Scott could probably tell you more. He knows the vehicles better, but Jeff was very happy with the prices and would like to see that approved.
Anything to add, Scott?
Well, the difference in the pricing is due to the one vehicle needing some repairs. So even though they're the same years, the one vehicle needs extensive repairs. So if you're wondering, that's why there's such a difference in price.
Thank you. Moved by Jeff, second by Steve. Any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve budget adjustments for the 2025-2026 fiscal year?
So moved.
Ernie, second.
I'll second that.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion, we added a couple items here. Can I get a motion for permission to set a public hearing for October 20th, 2025 to consider projects for the Erie County Community Block Grant?
You want me to talk about it?
I guess maybe you should talk now.
The CDBG is a yearly grant. You have to have a public hearing on it. For the last year, we didn't have any projects. We don't qualify for most of the projects because we do not have any low mod areas in the village. But we can use the grant for ADA projects. And the purpose of the public hearing is to leave it open to the public if the public wants to come up with a project that the village could use the funds for if we were to apply. We are in the consortium, so we do have to apply to the consortium, and they will award through that group. Any questions?
All right. Does anyone want to make a motion to give us permission to set that public hearing? Moved by Steve, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? All right, the feasibility study. Let's see, Maureen, do you just want to talk about that a little bit?
So we applied for a grant for the feasibility study for the land at Zero Gerard and Zero Bowen. We were awarded. Part of filling out the paperwork for the award is there's a document that you have to fill out, which is what your plan is for the project, your budget, that you have to send them insurance and things like that, and then the board has to approve accepting the money, and the board also has to approve the mayor to sign the contract. So I finally finished all the paperwork. We had to get a little bit of it updated to make sure it said senior housing on it, because when it came to me, it didn't. And
The county left it out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got that all fixed. So the next step is for the board to approve accepting the money and to approve the mayor to sign the grant application so that we can move forward.
So just to clarify, this is us just moving forward with accepting the grant, but the actual feasibility study doesn't lock us into any particular project, right?
It doesn't lock us into a project, it's just into the study, so that we're doing the study based on the scope of work that is in the contract.
Looking at wetland delineation, looking at possible egresses to the property for development, looking at the power needs, if there's a
Sewer,
project, sewer,
water.
water, that kind of thing. And then, at some point, we will do the feasibility study, and then we will have some public meetings and get some public input
So that's
on what
part
could
of it.
possibly go there.
So that's part
Well,
of the feasibility.
That's part of the feasibility
Yep.
study itself.
So they will have public meetings, and they will do surveys and different things like that, and collect all the data from the residents on the area.
And we get 50,000 from the county in a grant for this,
Yes.
and we are on the hook for an extra, was it 10?
10.
10,000 if necessary. So that is something we could vote on now, or we could wait, but if we want to accept the money and move it forward, we could do it tonight, or we could wait in the future if you need to hear more on it.
Move it forward. You need a motion, though.
So we need a motion for permission to accept the finding from Erie County, the funding, sorry. I'm trying to read someone else's handwriting.
Sorry.
Permission to accept the funding from Erie County for the senior housing feasibility study. Is one motion?
Motion. I'll make that
Second.
Moved by Jeff, second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. And then the other one would be a motion for permission for the mayor to sign the agreement with the county.
Sure, I'll move that one.
Moved by Steve,
Also good.
second by Molly. Further discussion? And that's all for just the grant itself.
That's just for the grant.
Yep.
Yep.
Just to clarify. Any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Moving on to new business, Tuka Sushi and Hibachi, 30-day liquor advance notice. This is standard stuff. Maureen, do you just want to quickly explain it?
Yeah, they just updated their last application. We actually did this a very short time ago, but they had made an amendment to their application, so it has to be another 30-day notice. If anybody has a problem, nobody had a problem last time, but if anybody does with the changes to their application, let me know, and I will get that in. Otherwise, they will proceed with their liquor license.
I don't have any issues.
I don't have any issues.
All right. Done with that. No old business. Second speakers and communications. Does anybody want to speak at the second speakers? Holly?
Hi, my name's Holly Maciaski, 218 Center Street, East Aurora. And really, I know I speak to the board, but this is concerning what came up about the landmark status. I can't tell you how offended I am by what went on here, because we came as tree members probably for a year, and you all listened patiently to us, tabled things when you had to, and we all worked together politely. I don't think I was ever threatening at all. Yet I stood here and watched somebody else who I assume is a citizen here seem very threatening. And after he sat down, he kept on shaking his head and then counting every one of us in the room. I don't think this is how we act at village board meetings, because I've been coming for a year now, and we're all the same. We're all citizens. We all say what we have to say. Nobody's above this board, and it offends me that I feel the gentleman was rude to all of you. That's it.
Thank you, Holly. Would anyone else like to speak on any topic? Rob?
Robert Goller, Village Historian. First, thank you for Carol Kate. We're looking forward to a wonderful year. Everything's going to be the exact same, regardless of Hallmark. Everything's going to be the exact same. They're saying, don't accept any imitations, come to the real one. Second is just hopping onto the conversation about the landmark district, national and state, not local, I'm speaking to the national and state. I invite you, if you decide to move forward with something like that, to talk to other communities that have done it. Geneseo mainly. I've lived there. I went to school there. They have state, national landmark districts. And even if none of the businesses or landowners, building owners take advantage of any of the tax rebates or anything, just having the name of a historic district in your community adds to the community charm that we were talking about. So even if they don't take advantage of those things, it adds to the community. You go into Geneseo, it says, welcome to our historic district, sort of like Hallmark Main Street. You know, we can add that on there. It sounds cheesy, but as you know, it adds to the community charm. So think of that too. And beyond the official benefits of it, there can be this cultural community building to it as well. And third, as you were having the discussion, having you all here in one place, I'm often asked, why isn't the village historian on the Village Historic Preservation Commission? And I'm asked every once in a while about why joining, and just to let you know, I see it personally as a conflict of interest, because people come to my office and I give them everything. You know, you want to look up your property, it's as unbiased as I possibly can be. Members of the Historic Preservation Commission come, I do the same thing in helping them research it. So as you know, you refer it to them, they often come to me, and I give an unbiased. And I just don't think it's right that then I sit on the other side of the table and vote, even though it might be advisory. And also I work with property owners as well. So I just want everyone to feel like they're not going to have me on the other side of a dais voting on it. But anything you need, any background information, with the caveat that it takes time to research. So you can't come in on a Wednesday afternoon and want it that night. But that's what the office is available downstairs. Feel free to come and do that. So
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Can
reminding us.
we
that
ask him
you're-
questions
you as
while
a
he's here?
resource, Rob, yeah.
Oh, Rob, so in terms of the district that you just talked about, from your perspective, is there any downside to that? I mean, in Geneseo and these other places, just from an objective?
I mean, that's why I'm inviting you to go talk to the mayor, because I don't see that. As Marianne had said, I actually did a podcast about it once, because people mix up. They think local means less restrictive. And in this case, it goes backward. So a lot of times the national and state recognitions are symbolic, or you can get tax rebates, but it's not, your local landmark status is actually part of the zoning code, you know, and the others are not.
Right.
So that's the difference. And so I do not see, and another thing is ask in our community, we have some national register properties, Baker Church, the Scheidemannel House, and just ask what, you know, anecdotally even, do they see more people interested in the, again, not official tax rebates, but just as it does raise the bar of the organization. Yeah. And I can't imagine our Main Street too, you say, you know, I can't tell you how many times people are bringing up this Hallmark movie. You know, it's just an anecdotal thing.
Right.
And the same could be for that too.
Right.
Everything else aside, it could bring, you know,
Right.
I could
More
picture
people.
a sign.
Sure, yeah. No, I can see lots of it. I was just
Yeah.
wondering, this isn't my purview, so I was just asking the expert while you were in front of me if there was anything that you could think of
I have
from
not
an
heard of anything. I mean, you hear the welcome to our historic state historic district, just think of the warm and fuzzy feeling you get from that. Honestly, it's silly, but that's, as
Yeah,
you're
it's
driving into a
perception,
community
sure.
and see a sign like that. And again, people come, I often hear like, people come for Vidlers, people come for one particular property. No, we know better. Like, they're coming to walk around.
The area,
It's
yeah.
not one silver bullet. It's that charm we talk about. You know, it's the whole, everybody working together. It's not just one property that's bringing people into East Aurora.
Right.
Our marquee, the theater, I mean, I can't tell you, heard 3 people walking down Main Street go, they didn't know we had that until they saw it, and they were
Yeah.
just, and I was just sitting on Main Street.
Right.
So it all adds up. It all adds
Sure.
up. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
personally do not see a downside from that, because nobody's forced into anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to speak on any topic? Second, speakers and communications is closed. Department head report. Patrick?
Business as usual at the police department. We continue e-bike enforcement. I chased a kid down on my way here, and well, not kid, 22-year-old, and informed him about his e-dirt bike. We're planning the special events for the fall and winter. We're just hearing today that there might be plans for another Hallmark-related special event you might get an application for in the future. And if you've seen lately, and talking about silly things, but not so silly, every couple of years, the National Child Safety Council solicits funds on behalf of the police department, and with that funding, they give us monies to purchase things to hand out to children, the plastic badges, the Halloween bags, things like that. And they did that a year ago, and they came in recently, and I don't know, I think it was long before Shane and maybe even before Ron, we had a safety pub costume. And so we've purchased with that money another one, and we're going to reintroduce safety pub to the schools and hand out safety brochures and hopefully get to it before Halloween and do a Halloween
Who's
talk with
wearing it?
officers.
Who is wearing it?
New guy?
So far, I've worn it one day, and I went over to the Boys and Girls Club just to test it out. And
Yeah, be sure to tell us when that's
I
go-
thoroughly
when- when
embarrassed
that's
my
happening.
son. He's still mad at me, but Safety Pup is the canine currently, and so outside of that, everything's in good sorts, I think.
Thanks, Pat. Scott?
Last week, we completed the installation of the new scoreboard at Hamlin Park. They used it Saturday. It worked well. Currently, we're working on retrofitting our 2 new dump trucks, 507 and 508, to work with our current leaf removal equipment, and that will be ready for the October 15th start of lease season. We're also wrapping up road striping, which was unfortunately delayed by some mechanical issues and parts sourcing issues. So that should be wrapped up by the end of the week. And we're continuing with preventative maintenance on the snow removal equipment to get it ready for this upcoming season. So that's about it.
Thanks, Scott. Is there any
Thanks.
update on the state's updates on Main Street that they're going to do?
Just rumors. I heard possibly by the third week of this month they're going to start milling, but that's just hearsay. I haven't heard anything official.
Any idea how long their maintenance is going to take?
Actually, no, I don't. I haven't heard anything.
Start the third week of October. It can't take too long, right?
If I can just jump on his, just because I don't know how many people know it, next Monday, for about 10 days, Mill Road between Quaker Road and I think the Woodbrook, which is the sewage plant, it'll be completely closed for about 10 days for a, they're doing some kind of wastewater line replacement there from that intersection down to the sewage treatment plant.
Isn't there going to be one lane open?
No, it'll be
Completely shut
completely
down?
shut down, so can't tell if Sean's back there, but if you can pump that out this Thursday in the paper, that would help, because there's a lot of traffic that goes through there, so.
That the residents will be able to.
Woodbrook people are going to have a party.
Yeah, right?
I'm gonna have a party. I
Oh,
live
yeah.
there.
All right, thanks, Pat. Scott, anything else?
No.
Thank you. Rich?
Just two announcements. We are in a temporary burn ban until October 15th. That was in effect as of October 2nd. And the other thing is, New York State has published the new code that will go into effect December 31st of this year. It will be based on the 2024 ICC codes, and it will have implications in regards to new construction that will be fossil fuel free.
Very good. Thank you, Rich. Shane?
Just let you guys know the good work the girls are doing in the office. We're helping each other out, getting back to all the residents, calling with all the concerns and questions over the totes and garbage pickup. I haven't heard back yet, but apparently garbage wasn't picked up on Pine Street today, Pine Street like it was supposed to. I contacted our rep who said, no, that couldn't possibly be true. Well, it is. So he was going to look into it and fix it somehow.
See the rep who mailed the mailers out last Tuesday?
Right, same guy. Yeah, same guy.
Express, I still haven't gotten it.
So we're hoping that's straightened out tomorrow. I'll make sure it is and go from there.
They are going to do a sweep of the village on Friday for anything that they've missed. So the entire village will be hit on Friday if anything has been missed, in addition to whatever else they do beforehand.
Very good. Thank you, Shane. Maureen?
All right. All right, when we were talking before about the public hearing, I don't have the answer, so I will have to get that back to you. I have to look, I don't know. During the week, I went to the Aurora Players ribbon cutting for the donation from Scott Beeler's Family Foundation for the new seats at the Aurora Players building. It was very nice, very nice. You should definitely go check that out. They do have a number of shows. They did thank the village in their dedication celebration. So that was very nice. I have the department heads working on their capital committee report updates, and the capital committee should be getting together this month to start work on our capital plan for our next budget year. And that, I believe, has been found very important because it is pretty much the roadmap when we are doing our budget and have extra funds or need to buy something, whether it's valid or not, based on the fact that we've already researched it ahead of time. Those are my two big things in addition to all the garbage totes.
Very good. Thank you, Maureen. All right, Steve?
All set.
Ernie?
All set.
Jeff?
Good, all good, thank you.
Molly?
Nothing for me.
All right, first, I just want to thank Maureen and Shane. They researched and did the garbage bid, and now they're dealing with the aches and pains of rolling out a new garbage contractor. So thank you guys for fielding all the calls, responding to all the residents, and helping them get past this transition. So I know it's a lot of work for you two, and it's appreciated. I want to thank Scott Beeler for his generosity, and congrats to the Aurora players for their improvements. And I've been talking with the owners of Main and Hamlin. They would like to work with us on some sort of plan for a new playground in Hamlin. And so I think we should get a little maybe either, how about the Friends of Hamlin? I'm thinking maybe we get a separate group going just to focus on how to roll out how that would look as far as private fundraising and getting some input from residents.
Problem is that Parkdale School is doing the exact same thing right now.
Yeah, well, the Parkdale
We're-
School is, there's somebody else in the
We would be
community
in
is.
direct competition with
Yeah,
another group raising money
For a playground.
another playground at the same time on the other side of town.
yeah.
And that's kind of why we backed off of it, why we went the route of, buying parts, fixing it up. I would love to see another playground in Hamel Park. That's where I go with my grandkids. I would love to see that playground improved. But on the Hamel Park Committee, we kind of looked at each other and said, does this make any sense? Like fundraising at the same time, another group on the other side of the village is
Yeah.
fundraising for the very same thing.
How old's their playground? I'm just curious.
It's replacing the one I helped build as a volunteer parent, I think. That would be 30 years ago
Yeah.
or so, 25 years, I don't know, time flies. But it was there
So-
were a group of us parents that actually got together and bolted it together one Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that one, because they had to replace the wooden one, which had arsenic in it and stuff.
Yeah, like we did in Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, our community's big enough, we need multiple playgrounds, right? I don't want to take anything away from their activities, but do you just put it on hold for 2 years until they're done with their project and then start our project, or can they run concurrently? If we have a separate entity, Jenna and Joe Morcell and Andy and Sam Miller from Main and Hamlin have expressed an interest in being a major donor for a playground in Hamlin Park. So, can they happen at the same time? Is that really a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. Selfishly, that's the park I go to because my daughter lives on Walnut, and I would like to see it improve.
It's a good-sized community. We need more
And we
than one
need,
playground.
so,
right?
I don't know.
They just
what do you
happen to
think?
age at the same time.
Make it work. Start it up and see how it rolls.
One thing to take into consideration, and it's not really police, but it's something we deal with, is Hamlin's open to the public, sun up, sun down. The school's playground is the school's playground, especially when school's in session. There's signs that say, no public admittance during school hours. And then during those hours, if you go to Hamlin Park, you see a lot of young mothers and young fathers with less than school-age children utilizing Hamlin Park.
It's a great point, Pat. That's a great point. So there's kind of a separate need, he's saying, right?
I'd be all for it. I mean, we had thought at the time, we were,
We didn't want to go head to head with it.
yeah, we were like, I
If
don't
there was
know,
an aggressive campaign and we do the same,
What kind of money are you talking about?
$300,000,
more, even.
400,000. I know the playground, my school district, Orchard Park, put in beautiful playgrounds at all the elementary schools. And they were, I don't know, half a million, I think.
Who's the representative at the school who's handling the playground, do you know?
I spoke to the principal at Parkdale, and there was a group, a parent group.
All right, I'll reach out
Of
to
some
them.
sort. She said it was a parent-driven, Parkdale, a group that was just interested in, replacing the playground.
Okay. Let me
Yeah, would
reach
it
out
be
to
in
that
the
person and
operating
see
But.
what their process is, like how they're planning on doing it, what their timeline is.
Yeah.
And we'll see if there's a way to do both without them, hurting each other's opportunities.
Well, when we had our last park committee meeting at the park, and we walked the playground, Jeff Stoll recommended we stay with wood chips because he knows from having been to other, visited other municipalities that the artificial turf, like they have at South Davis Elementary and Orchard Park and other, and the foam rubber, it tends to get vandalized. It gets damaged. Kids, ride their bikes on it when no one's looking.
When it's all a surface of the
It's
rubber, not
like,
the
it's a
shredded
really
rubber,
neat
right?
cushy. When I take my walk every day, and I actually kind of, the Parkdale, or the South Davis kids are playing, I'll walk on the artificial turf because it's kind of spongy and fun, but apparently it's easily damaged. And there's been a lot of instances in other places where, in schools and other places where, someone goes on that playground and damages the turf, and it's expensive. So he was recommending we just go with the wood chips still, but
We're still a ways away from there, though.
but yeah,
So,
I mean,
all right, I'll reach out to the school group and we'll find out if there's a way to run them concurrently. All right? Sound good? And then we'll talk some more. I'll report back when I have some more info. That's it. Can I get a motion to adjourn at 8:36?
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. The meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Hi, Kurt.
Wouldn't that be like the district budget?
Yes.
They take,
That's my sister-in-law.
Appreciate you reaching
Boy, that's a fancy one. I've never seen one of those.
have like